Hi guys. Sunny Bonani Dumalang Goeie aand, afternoon, bon dia. Trust you guys are well, swell, and doing all the things you need to do. So in today's episode 35, I thought I would showcase another one of my pieces. This is actually one of the first pieces that I created under the MonStar range. And I'm just going to share inspiration, how they came to me, perhaps share a few of the personalities that are on the canvas. And yes, I guess just see where the spirit of spontaneity for today's session wants to find us. But this piece over here, I've titled The Great Introduction. And it does fall under the MonStars range. So yes, I guess it's a very simple piece. It really isn't, I guess, what they would deem to be a Michelangelo. Most certainly not. It is very basic, I will admit. But these pieces, the MonStar range that I create and make through all of these fabulous little characters that come through, I feel like, I don't know how else to say it, but I feel like they almost get like channeled through me, sent to me to deliver and convey the essence and sentiments that we are all here to honor and experience the unique essence or our unique je ne sais quoi or our individuated soul selves. And that's what my MonStar pieces are really all about and all in celebration of. So no two MonStars will ever be the same. They will always have some point of differentiation or unique element about them. And I guess that's why I'm quite passionate about making original pieces and not so keen on making prints and copies and stuff like that. But yes, here is the MonStars. So this piece actually came to me quite a number of years ago, probably 4 years ago now. And this guy over here at the bottom was actually inspired by my kids. And at the time that I was painting this piece, my eldest had literally just recuperated and recovered from the good old chicken pox. And my youngest son was literally on the verge of just getting the fresh chicken pox coming in. And I guess this little guy over here is what inspired him. You know, if you know, you know. If you've had chicken pox before, you kind of know what happens in the process. And yeah, so these guys are the chicken pox guys over here, you know, inspired by the sons that came through my womb and to me. And then this character over here, right, believe it or not, I was busy painting him. And I kind of worked from the bottom up. And when I got to him, I painted the yellow and I was creating the eyes. And these tears that he's showing actually happened by accident. I was busy painting and I had too much paint on the brush as I was doing the rotation. And then there was a huge dribble that happened. And I was like, motherfucker, no, man. Because, you know, I was trying to make it all perfect and stuff. And then I was like, but wait, this guy is sad, man. He wants to express that he's sad. He's maybe sad for his chickenpox friends. I don't know. But he is actually a really special guy. And he came to teach me and remind me that it's safe for you to share your emotions. And it's safe for you to cry and shed some tears. In fact, it might create a beautiful piece of art that is different and unique. And I guess one of a kind. So I really, really love this little guy over here. He is very cute. I know he doesn't have a nose, but he has very powerful tears that I guess mean a lot to me. And who else do I wish to share? I guess this guy over here is all about the connection to the heart space, connection to to alignment and to centering within us, but to also remember how we are connected to something outside of ourselves. So, the wind, guys, can you see that? The wind is also wanting to speak clearly today. So, yes, how we connected to the galaxy, to the solar system, and to something far greater, almost like a federation of some kind. And we are seeking alignment to be aligned with that ultimate federation and community, I guess. This is just a luscious old bird right over here. She's a little older, more mature, but she's still got play in her life. You know what I'm saying? And then I did this, and at the time I didn't even know who these characters were, but my children, sorry, you can clearly see I've never been a weather girl before, so I clearly need to practice on my weather girl skills. And over here I'm trying to recall the name of these guys. I actually have another piece that I'm looking at right over there that one of my kids asked me to do. Among Us. That's it. This is one of the characters of the Among Us crew. I didn't even know that that's what they were, or apparently I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it's a video game or an animation. Sorry, guys, I'm not sure who the Among Us crew is. But apparently this reminds my boys of the Among Us crew. And who else do we have here? We've got the beautiful Sun Ra emerging from the corner over here. And then these guys on the very top part is just, I guess, a form of duality for me. The happy and the sad, the orange and the yellow, however you want to look at it. But I guess it does represent and reflect an aspect and form of duality. And then because I stay very close to the ocean, I'm very blessed to stay in a very beautiful tropical oasis. And this over here is just a remembrance reminder of the power and the beauty of the ocean, and how the ocean too has her own unique personality and essence and magic as well. Over here, this guy over here, he's into the greens. If you know, you know. He really does appreciate having a 420 every so often. And I know there's a bit of a bad rap about the good old 420, and MJ can be quite, how can I say, she can really latch onto you. Definitely. But, if you have a healthy, wholesome relationship, just like any other relationship in your life, the Mary Jane or the 420 or whatever you want to refer to, the good old green lady, she's actually got feminine energy. I guess this was just a remembrance and a sentiment of the 420, the MJ, If you know, you know. If you don't know, don't worry, guys. You're not missing out on anything. And then this guy here, if this doesn't scream phalange of some kind, then I don't know what does. It's really just getting a good old lick of something and living in the time and space that we are residing. I guess sometimes that's important. So yes, this guy over here, this number is obviously a little sexual in nature. And this chap over here just wants to get a little taste of whatever's going on there. You know what I mean? What else? And this guy over here, he really wants a six-pack so bad, but regretfully, his six-pack is his actual mouth. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? But he's very proud of it. He is very, very proud of his six-pack mouth, because he's able to nourish and devour many things. And of course, here we have the good old eye, the all-knowing, all-seeing eye, and just watching over everyone, just making sure everyone keeps in check and doing their thing. So, yes, what else? I can't say that there were any particular techniques that were used that were different. It was literally just a paintbrush, some acrylic paint, and my spontaneous intuition just guiding this process. I didn't pre-sketch any of these characters. They literally were created as I was working through color by color, and they presented themselves to me as I went through the process. I didn't redo any of them. If there were mistakes, I let the mistakes be. And if you come up close to this canvas, you'll definitely notice that this painting is not perfect. There are many imperfections with it. You know, the circles aren't 100% round and the colors aren't 100% colored. But that for me is quite therapeutic and soothing because as a Capricornian, I am quite anal about things being a certain way. And I guess this particular piece offered me reprieve and gave me a little bit of permissibility for me to be a little bit more playful and more forgiving on myself as well. So, yes, guys, I think I've shared all I wish to share with you about this fabulous, fabulous piece. It is listed on my Art Majeure website if you are curious and interested. I'm also very keen and happy to do new commissions. For me, the bigger the canvas, the more delicious it is for me. And like I shared in the onset or the beginning of this video, sorry, I just see that my boobs look a bit floppy in this video actually. Yeah, hey? It's what happens when you've been a mom twice. Your girls head south, even for the summer, not only for the winter. Anyway, guys, these guys really bring me a huge amount of joy. They really do. I'm always so excited to see which MonStars are wanting to be birthed and that I have the honor of, I guess birthing into this world, almost like a doula or a midwife. And I guess, yes, I do view myself as a bit of a midwife and a doula to these guys because they are just so special to me. They really, really are. I know some people are like, girl, that's just like colors on a canvas and it's just like, you know, it's not like really award winning. But like for me, they are. They are just so special. And if you sit in front of them long enough, they will definitely start speaking to you. True story. You either choose to listen or you choose to, or maybe you just can't hear them, actually. Maybe they're just not vibrating on your frequency. Perhaps you're not tuned into the channel, so to speak, to receive their transmission. But they really are special characters and they offer such magnificent messages and powerful insights. And I just love them so, so much. So I guess they actually inspired my mindful coloring in and journal, which I touched on very briefly yesterday. But I have literally just launched my MonStars mindful journal, which is all about coloring and doodling. So if you remember, I did tell you that I don't make duplicates or copies. So even within the essence and the spirit of this coloring in book, no two people will ever have the same MonStar that has been created in the spirit of fostering and connecting to your emotions and feelings. So I guess that's another very important component that I need to make reference to that is a little unique with this mindfulness journal. It is fostered and structured all around capturing emotions and feelings, but it's done so in an alphabetized way. So we've got anxious Abby and we've got crying Clarissa. I can't even remember. I'm just making this up right now. But these are some of the characters that are in this journal. And they were inspired by these fabulous guys behind me. So this was my very first piece. Yeah. I'll be sharing a few more MonStars and I'll be chatting through perhaps a few more of my pieces. One of my subscribers did ask me to share a little bit more of my art because they really enjoyed my first episode. If you know, and if you're watching this, halala, shout out to you. What else do I want to say for today's episode? I guess that's it. As always, magical and wondrous beings, enjoy the rest of your wondrous day. Remember to keep sowing the seeds that life gifts you with, going with the flow of life and allowing it to direct you where you need to go. Continue to grow, and ultimately, I think that's the wind telling me, girl, it's a fucking wrap, bitch. It's a wrap. You should have ended this 2 minutes ago. So yes, continue to glow and stay magical, stay brilliant, stay bright. And until tomorrow's episode, keep staying delicious, you wondrous humans. Peace out.